day, but it scared me. But something that I will never ever not do is take care of myself. So whether I'm doing my workout or taking my scheduled rest day, doing my personal develop time, which is mostly my time with Jesus, or listening to a podcast on how to like further my business and contribute to my group. That's something like every single day you can do it super easy. It keeps you accountable. It's a huge part of our job.
I know this isn't technically part of this question, but it also sort of is. So Hannah, can you expand on the part where you were like, maybe I don't do it every single day. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, so basically we have a tracker that if you're a list person like you basically check off what you're supposed to do for your job. So I've taken that and I've broken it up for my schedule. And so I'm making sure I'm doing the tracker, but I don't feel pressure to do every single thing every single day. So I've made it work for me. And so there's some days like I only do certain things, but every single day I'm working on myself and I'm helping at least encourage the women who are also on their own journey.
Thank you. Annie.
Yeah, kind of going along with what Hannah said, my for sure non-negotiable is to take care of myself first. Get my workout in or a scheduled rest day, like Hannah said. Um, Having my supplements, whether that be a shake or Energize or any other supplements, sharing my journey on social media, because if I'm not sharing it, then other people won't see it and want to join. And most importantly to me is checking in with my accountability group, posting in that group, checking on my ladies, encouraging them, reaching out to them if I haven't heard from them in a while, and doing my personal development, whether that be listening to a podcast, reading a book of somewhere that I'm wanting to improve myself on, and then just interacting with people on social media in whatever way, just liking their posts, commenting, finding new people that I'm interested in, and we have things in common. Those are my non-negotiables.
Thank you, Annie. Okay, I want to go to the next question already. I think that it's also easy to watch us and think, oh my gosh, like how could I ever do that when I'm not an expert in health and fitness? Like you might not even have all your stuff together right now. You're like, I don't work out every day. Like how in the world can I help people? So I want you to know that that's part of the job. Like you're going to figure that out, because when you start, you're gonna be like, okay, this is part of my job description. So now I'm gonna show up and I'm going to do my workouts consistently. And your job really is encouraging and inspiring other people who decide to do the workouts with you. So we do that in what's called challenge groups or accountability groups or BOD groups. People will call them a few different things. So I want to know, in your words, what is a challenge group and how do you run yours? Shelby, go for it.
I couldn't find the hand. But I have two different groups currently, but for the longest time I had one where it was just like ongoing, and that's where I like check in with my group every single day. So I check in for myself and like my own accountability and show them that I'm showing up every single day. And then I also share like different things in there, like different tips or things that have helped me. I go live when maybe I'm like struggling with something and how I'm going to get out of it, or I share like a win, or I encourage them to share a win. Sometimes we do like spirit week, so like crazy hair day and like animal print day. Keeping it fun. But I think the most important thing to note about that is that it gets to be what you want it to be. Like if you want it to be where like you keep track of everyone that checks in and like you have a point system, awesome, go for it. If you like, I don't know, whatever, literally it can be whatever you want it to be. Like there's no right or wrong way of doing it other than if you just like were to not do it at all. So because we get to make it like fun and something that we look forward to, because then they'll look forward to it also.
Morgan?
I share my I do on bod group. So my challenge group is on the app through Beachbody. Like Shelby said, you could do it any way you want, but I use the app that Beachbody's given us. I've gone back and forth. I've done a lot of different things, but like Shelby said, make it fun. But I really like that because it makes it so easy for them to check in. And I know some people are overwhelmed. I've had clients before who are overwhelmed and have like time limits on Facebook. So if they hit their limit on Facebook before they get their workout in, they can't check in. And so this is a separate app with all of your Beachbody stuff. And after you do your workout, it actually pops up a little pop-up in the app saying like, would you like to track this? And it makes it really simple for them to check into your group. So I like to make it as simple as possible for my girls to be able to check in. And then I also do like a weekly check-in via text message through our app, just to kind of do an extra touch base with them. But it's really up to whatever you're most comfortable with. I've done groups where it's just a messenger pod too. Like I'll have all the girls on Messenger and I'll be like, share a GIF of how you're feeling today or something like that. So whatever you're most comfortable with is what you can do. But just know that Beachbody has a system in place. There's challenge group guides even. So I ran my groups with Erin right now. So you can run it with another coach or a friend, and just both be sharing in there, but they actually have challenge group guides. So if you're going through a program, so we went through 21 Day Fix, just finished that. We just pulled from the guide, the picture and the caption to post in the group for encouragement and things that they would be going through the workout program. So Beachbody lays it all out, makes it really simple. Like I said, you can use those guides. You don't have to use those guides. It's up to you, but just know, like, you don't have to come up with all this stuff and think you don't have time to do it because it's all laid out. You just have to schedule it for your group, which makes it really easy if you're crunched for time.
Yeah, I think the best way to describe a group, a challenge group, is you have created a safe space for women to be encouraged and inspired each day on their journey, a place to check in, a place to be held accountable, and it really doesn't matter where it is. It could even be in person, you guys. If you have a local group of women who are working with you, you could meet up with them in your living room or your backyard twice a week. Like that would be a challenge group too. That's the coolest thing about the job is it can literally look however you want it to. Okay, how do you fit coaching into your day, and how much time a day do you spend working it?
I can share. Wait, hold on. Me and Shelby are by each other. Okay. So right now I'm like super busy with like full-time teaching, grad school, and like other stuff and coaching, obviously. And so right now I will do like 20 minutes of work in the morning and then also like work out and read my Bible. So obviously like taking care of me, but then I'll do like 20 minutes of work. And then on my lunch break or like my plan time, if I don't need it, I will do like 30 minutes of work then too. So like I might share or like have conversations with people who are interested or build relationships with new people. And then I'll usually do like another 20 minutes, either like on my other break or after school or things like that. Also, I'll have like phone calls with people while I drive to and from school. So I really just like fit it in the cracks of my day right now. And I love that we can do that with coaching because like any other job, if I was going to go get like a part-time job, like, I don't know, at a store or a restaurant or whatever, like I'd have to be there and like be physically present there for like hours at a time. Whereas like with coaching, I can fit it in whenever works for me. I could do it when I'm on a road trip, like in the car. Like I love that it's so flexible because I wouldn't be able to fit it in any other way, like if it wasn't. So that's kind of how I fit it in right now, just in like pockets of my day. But I've also had seasons where I'll get all of it done within like an hour and a half, like all at the same time or whatever. So that's kind of what it looks like for me right now.
Kayla, I saw your hand. Do you want to share?
I just felt like Claire just wrapped it all up with a pretty little golden bow. I will say I don't work anymore full time in a job. I just recently stepped away from nursing. So for me, Now I still kind of put it in the pockets of my day, but I'm learning now to actually treat it more as a job, since not that I wasn't treating it as a job. That sounds bad, but like setting business hours when I'm at home. So that way in the evening, I can be fully transparent and invested with my family. So I've been trying to set an hour, sometimes 2 hours, but I don't always do that. However, if my day goes crazy, I can do things in the car. I can do things just wherever. So Claire wrapped it up. That was good. It's basically however you want it. It's your job. You do it. What works for you.
Can you guys do me a favor? And if you have a job outside of coaching, can you raise your hand? If you are a mom, can you raise your hand? If you are married, can you raise your hand too? Okay, I just want you to see there are people like in all phases of life doing all kinds of different things who make this work for themselves. And several of us who didn't raise our hands to say that we have other jobs outside of this used to, or have been able to walk away from those things and use this coaching income to like fill the gap in the in between. So just know there are like people in all walks of life here that you could talk to. Okay, next question. How do you use social media for your business? And I know some of you have stories about like how social media wasn't like your favorite thing before coaching, still might not be. So if you want to include a little bit about that in your answer, you can too. Tiffany.
So something that I think a lot of people struggle with is thinking that they have to share literally every single little piece of their life on social media. And like that part's just not true. Like even before I started coaching, I would just kind of creep on social media. And that was pretty much my role on social media before I became a coach. So going into it, I was just like, I don't know how much I'm comfortable sharing. Like I don't want to share everything. And that's pretty much how I've decided to do it. Like I share enough to be able to connect with others on things like, should I get this portable high chair? Or what do you think about this paint color for my living room? Because I'm really bad at deciding things like that. Or I'll share things like sometimes that are going on with Reagan, or like I'm taking classes right now, but there's like so much of your private life that you're able to keep as private as you want. And I think that that's really important, that you get to decide what that looks like for you. And if you struggle to figure out what to post, there are all kinds of guides and things to help you just about life to help you post on social media.
I would like to mention too that most of us did not post nearly as much as we do right now until we became coaches. So you watch us post, you're like, holy cow, like they post so much. I post like once a year. That's okay, you guys. Most of us did the same thing. Hannah, go for it.
Okay, so I was also one who, like, I just got an Instagram, I think like maybe 2 years ago. And so I'm not like a huge social media person, and I was super, super anxious about it. And instead, how I view it is I view it, one, to share what God is doing. I use it as ministry. I know that I know what Beachbody has done for me. And I know the freedom it's given me, just the workouts, like for mental health. And then when I gave coaching a shot, the financial freedom and the confidence and the community that I really needed. And so I know that there's others who need it too. And so for me, it's worth putting it out there and sharing, even if I get one other person who works out with me, or one other person who decides they're going to take the chance and try coaching too. And so I use it to just spread the news of what God has used just this thing as Beachbody to change my life, and also just encourage and connect with other people. I get intimidated by like connecting with new people because I have seen it done wrong and I don't want to do it wrong. And so I was like, okay, like, how do I want to make new friends? And instead I just like find people who I like from different churches, and I just share my devotion with them. And if they connect, we connect over the Lord or something like they're going through. And I just pray before I send it, like, God, whoever's supposed to see this message and read this devotion, I'm like, let it be the person I run into. And there's been some amazing connections and friends built through social media. And I have not like ever experienced anything like, so far I'm new, like super negative or like, I don't know. So it's built my confidence in knowing that the Lord can use this to change people's lives like he has for me.
Shelby?
Yeah, to kind of like go off of that, you really get to like you get to make it like what you want. I was someone that was not on social media. I just like coasted, was like, you know, on the sidelines. Like if I posted, it was like very rarely. And so anyways, but even when I started, I didn't go like 0 to 100 with it either. I like did a couple, like 1 or 2 things like at a time and just like built on that. And what I think I would say to anyone that if that was me in that situation, it's that you get to go at your own pace and you share what you're like comfortable with sharing. Because if you try to force anything, first off, like people can feel that, and second off, then you're not going to have fun and find the joy in it. So like you're probably going to quit, honestly. So do what like you're wanting to do. And we have a part 2.
All right, different. Okay, yeah, I wanted to share because I was also one of those people who was like not on social media or never posted on social media. And honestly, I would delete it for like weeks at a time because I didn't want to be on it, but I would always get it back and it wasn't a healthy thing for me. Like I would be just mindlessly scrolling, wasting time, or like comparing myself, all that stuff. And so now I feel like instead of trying to just like push against it and be like, oh, I'm going to delete it and all that stuff, and then I would get it anyway, it's like embracing it and using it for a positive thing. And now I don't really spend time just mindlessly scrolling or wasting time. Like when I'm on there, I'm actually being social with people and like talking to people, and I'm getting to be a light and like a contributor, not just a consumer. And like I get paid for it, you know, like it's not like just using it meaninglessly anymore. And I think that's been really cool. And even like people who watch are probably like, oh, you're on there all the time. But honestly, as far as me, whenever I'm being focused, like I feel like I'm probably on the same amount as other people. It's just I'm actually like posting and sharing and like being active instead of just scrolling. So I think that's been cool for me to see that like change, because I don't love social media and I never really have, but being able to use it in a productive way, like Hannah was saying, like a ministry too, like, yeah.
I love that so much, Claire. When people talk about their fear of like social media sucking their time away, that's exactly what I say is you're just flipping your time. You're no longer going to be there mindlessly scrolling. You're going to be the person like posting things. So your time on social media, if you're on it at all, probably isn't going to change too much. And if you're not looking at the comment section, the chat, check out that because some women are like making some comments over there that might be helpful. Okay, next question. I have 2 left. Number 1, what is your favorite part about being a coach? Morgan.
Okay, it feels like there's a million, and I know we all love what we get to do. But lately, I've probably been most impacted by just like reflecting on what it's done for me in my own health. I just think about where I was at. And the reason I started coaching was for my own accountability, because our number 1 job is to take care of ourselves. That has helped me be consistent for 4 years. And there's so much power in that. And I don't know if like I even realize it sometimes, but where I was at before, like I tried Weight Watchers, I tried just like going to the Y, and I was never consistent with anything. So to find something that my job is to stay consistent on my health, that is huge. It's absolutely huge and worth every second of my time, because I'm being held accountable through sharing on social media. And then when you do have people join you, you're like, well, I need to show up for them if I'm going to help lead them. So I think that's probably my favorite part. Obviously, community and all that other stuff too. But like lately, that's been my favorite, is my weight loss journey. And now through post, like so much. I had great loss. I lost my brother, and then we had the pandemic. I've been a home, like just through every season, and now through my postpartum season, been able to stay consistent with my health journey. And not many people can say that. And so I think having a job where that is my job is what's kept me going. It's been cool.
Preach. Kathy.
Okay, sorry about that. Flexibility is the biggest thing for me. I am still working full time, and okay, maybe behind getting to do this with my 2 daughters. That's probably number 1. I do love that. But just like right now, we're on a baseball trip, and even this morning I had to switch things up because I forgot to bring my weights. So probably you noticed I was dancing around doing Let's Get Up, and you guys were all doing other things. So, but just, you can make it fit, you can make it work. And for me, that's like no excuses. I mean, if I have Wi-Fi, I can do this. And, you know, I was already doing all of the things except for posting, you know, so I just love that. I love that I can make it work.
Tiffany.
Okay, to kind of echo what both Morgan and Kathy said, like, so number one, obviously there's so many favorite things. Number one, being able to see the difference it's made in my life and being able to help other people make that difference in their life. Like being able to recognize like, okay, this person was in the same place that I was 4 years ago, and being able to help them, you know, like dig themselves out of that hole of just like unhealthy habits, not taking care of themselves, and, you know, worrying about everybody else, to helping people take care of themselves. Like that's just like a really awesome transformation to be a part of. The second thing is like with what Kathy said, like you're your own boss and you are in charge of you making it work. You're not like no one is telling you exactly what to do, and you're not having to necessarily rely on other people. So like you get to choose how it's going to work in your life. And it's like right now I'm out of town and it's able to work, or Kathy's at baseball and she's being able to make it work. So it is just so flexible in how you want to do it. And then the third thing is just the fun. Like there's so much fun stuff that comes with it. Like all of the in-person events, we just got, like several of us just got back from Punta Cana a couple weeks ago, and that was an amazing trip to earn insert income, blah, 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 disclaimer. Or like several of us are getting like quarterly, there's an event, and a lot of us are getting together for that in Southwest Missouri. And so just like having that in-person community, the fun events, and where this can take you, it's just like a really big piece of joy, I think, for a lot of us too.
I love that. Okay, we're coming up on 10 o'clock, so I'm actually going to skip the last question. But here's what I want to tell you. If you have other questions, whoever invited you here, I want you to connect with them directly after this, because we all know how fear works, and your nerves will set in. You'll be sitting here, you're like, oh my gosh, this sounds so good. I think that's something I want to do. And then you sit on it until tomorrow, and then you don't send the message, you don't ask the questions, you talk yourself out of doing something that you really want to do. So connect with the person who invited you, okay? The second thing I want to tell you is, if you're sitting here and you're like, I want to do this, like I'm sure I want to do this, also connect with the person who invited you. And what that's going to look like is you signing up, getting access to our workouts, getting access to our nutrition programs, you starting your journey, which just means completing the workouts, following the programs, sharing it online and with friends and family, and beginning to inspire people with your authentic journey. And then you're going to get to work with people and inspire them through their own programs as well. It does cost $160 to sign up, like whenever you first get started. And then each month after that, you will invest in products. Okay. And I can already tell some people are like, wait, what? Yes, it does cost monthly. And I want to be really clear about that, because it is a business that you're investing in. The amazing thing about it, though, is you're not just like throwing money into the wind to be a coach. The cost is you're using our products. So we have the best Energize is our pre-workout. It's the best in the world. That's something that most of us buy every single month. We have shakes, we have recovery drinks, which are like, it's like chocolate milk to make sure your muscles aren't sore all the time. We have so many products to choose from. And the thought behind this is you are using the products that you are recommending to other people. Like you would never say, hey, you should try this pre-workout. I've never tried it. I don't use it, but I think it'd be great for you. No, we don't want to do that. So talk to the person who invited you. Yes, snack bars, we have granola bars too. Talk to the person who invited you about all of those details. And you guys, we just want you to know we love this job and we love this community, and it's changed all of our lives for the better. And we're all confident it can do the same thing for you. So thank you so much for being here, and take 5 seconds of bravery after this call. Reach out to the person that invited you and connect a little bit further to see if this is a right fit for you too. That's all I have. Thank you for being here, guys.